All right, and welcome back to the Royal Vision podcast. As always, I'm your host, Alex Taylor, and today we have another absolutely fantastic athlete from our men's swimming and diving team. He's from Maple Glen, attended LaSalle College High School. He's our two-time Landmark Conference Athlete of the Week for swimming and diving this season. His best events are the 1650, the 1,000, and the 500 freestyle, and he actually set our program record in the 1,000 freestyle with a time of 9:50.95, breaking our record that had stood since 2013. We have Jimmy O'Malley. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming today. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm definitely not bad. Yesterday we were having some kind of odd, power outage is on campus. And, some people actually got some classes canceled. As we kind of discussed before, we didn't get that luxury.
No.
So we all went to class. But honestly, just tell me a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, so ever since I was 8 years old, I've been swimming. Started swimming during my summer swim club, and eventually I started swimming CYO, and then that evolved into club swimming. And then during high school, I saw a lot of improvement, and I really fell in love with the sport. And I also got an opportunity to play water polo in high school. Unfortunately, I don't have the opportunity to do that here, but I really felt like it helped me develop as a swimmer.
I was going to say, wow, that's really interesting. Water polo, that's definitely a little bit nicher. But did you say you had a great time doing that?
Yes, I did.
And, being outside of Philly, how were the opportunities to get in the pool? How many opportunities would you say you had?
Yeah, so in high school, I would say I would practice around, I would have 11 practices a week or 10. I would have a morning and afternoon every day and a Saturday practice during season. And in the off season, I would more focus on my water polo. And in the summer, I would just summer swim and maybe do some club swimming.
So you say probably club swimming was probably a big part of your passion for it going forward?
Actually, I would say more as my high school, because my high school was a very serious, big swim program, and I didn't really have to rely on a club swim because I had that water polo to keep me in shape in the off season.
So you actually had a full funded program in high school?
Yes.
Wow, okay. I know talking to some other swimmers, they actually didn't even have the opportunity. Some of them actually had to rely on that club swim. So could you tell me what you took from your high school team that could have translated into your career now?
Yeah, so my high school's experience was a lot of yards and it was hard. And, doing it at the time, it was really painful. But, always swimming at champs, it always paid off. And it's just great to have the opportunity to then use all that hard work I had in high school and, just settled out at a D3 school, focus on getting my education and, having fun and swimming to the best of my ability.
Yeah, and being able, being here as D3, we've come to realize that as D3, you get a lot more chance to be part of this community. And would you say, you value that?
I do value that, yes. It's been a nice experience.
Yeah. Well, hey, we're glad to have you here, and you're doing fantastic. I mean, your best events are, like we said, the 1650, the 1,000, and the 500 freestyle. Could you maybe go in a little bit about why these are your best events or why you excel in them?
Yeah, so I didn't start swimming the 500-yard freestyle until my senior year of high school when a lot of the people who swam before it all graduated. My coach just looked at me. It was a random dual meet. He's like, all right, you're in the 500. And I ended up putting out a pretty good time, and with my with my district's meet, I was able to get a time that qualified me for AAA PIAA states, and I was able to swim in that meet, and that was always my goal during high school. So I was very happy with that, and I just rode that, and now that expanded into the 1,000 and mile in college.
So, branching off of the mile and the 1,000, I should say, you broke that record, which was previously held in 2013. Could you tell me a little bit more maybe about, do you remember when you broke this record? Yes.
I broke that a week and a half ago against our dual meet at Drew. We were actually all teched up. We wore our tech suits, which is special material that it just helps you swim a little faster. And Drew has a very good competition, so I was able to put out a pretty good time.
And that's honestly fantastic. Some of these athletes don't even know that they're going up against these records. Were you aware that you were in the running to break this record?
I was, yes.
And I just can't imagine, how did you feel as soon as you got out of the pool knowing? Did you know you broke it?
Yes, I did. I did know I broke it. I was very happy that I broke it because actually the week before we swam Merchant Marines and I had a pool record at our pool and I actually lost that against Merchant Marines. But the very next week I if I swam that race in our pool I would have the pool record and team record. But
Wow.
so I'm very happy about my performance.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. And kind of going into that, how do you just feel only being like a sophomore and you're already kind of changing history around here? I mean, you have so much to go, right? This is only technically half of your career because how many years are you going here?
4.
4-year program. Okay, so yeah, almost halfway done. You're making great strides. Just how do you feel?
It feels fun. It's fun swimming fast. It's a really fun, nice experience. I do it all with my teammates. We push each other every day at practice, and we get the best out of each other.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how important is your team, and how does your team apply to your individual strengths and weaknesses as a person?
Yeah, so during practice, we'll have a set that in parts of it require you guys to go kind of fast, and sometimes when it's just like distance group, I find myself I'm kind of just racing myself. But especially when I have those situations where I have one of my teammates next to me, really pushes me to do the best I can. And when I'm doing the best I can during practice, it really prepares me for those race situations that I find myself in during a meet.
Who would you say are your biggest inspirations? I mean, first maybe we can just start for like, you can get specific with that. But let's just say like biggest inspiration, top of your head. Who are you thinking?
Are we talking professional athletes or?
Let's start there. That's a great place to start. Yeah, professional athletes.
All right.
Doesn't have to be in swimming, obviously.
Yes.
Like just as maybe as an attitude, an archetype, someone you look up to.
I would probably say Bryce Harper from the Phillies.
Yes. Great guy, a Phillies fan myself in that aspect. I mean, he kind of embodies the team as a whole. He embodies the city he plays for. Would you say you embody some of Scranton in you as you compete?
Yes. I see him playing. A lot of times I see him. He just wants to have fun and he wants to win, and I feel like that's pretty much my my attitude here with Scranton Swim and Dive.
That's a great attitude to have, and I was kind of getting more into this in the last interview. Some athletes do have trouble trying to, remove themselves from the competition, right? Because they get so sucked up into being elite. Like you want to be the best, right? But you start to forget why you even started. You know, so just maybe a little bit insight. Like how do you think you balance that every time you get in the pool?
Yeah, every time I get in the pool, it's like no matter how tired I am, because a lot of times it's like during these meets, like last year, I know it was a lot of times it was, and at the Drew meet this past week, it was like I'm in the pool for the 1,000, and then I have the 200 butterfly, and then I had the 500 freestyle, and then I have a relay at the end. So I kind of just go in the pool. I'm like, all right, this is what my coach needs me to do for this 1,000. He needs me to win it, so I'm gonna give them my best race here, and then I'll take everything else later once I get past this point.
Let me just try and go more in depth about how, I mean, you just listed a bunch of events right there. How strenuous is that to go to like a meet? Like what an average meet to you? Like what are you doing exactly? Like what do these events like entail for you specifically?
Yeah, so I mean last year when our team was as deep, a lot of the time I was swimming the 1,000 2 fly and 5 free and then a relay, and it's kind of a gauntlet swimming all that because especially at the 1,000, you don't get much of a break after the 2 fly. That's an event a lot of people dread. I've been fortunate enough that I don't have to do that as much this year, but I would say I'm a pretty good 200 butterflyer. I can get by.
Right. And what does the 200 butterfly entail? Like what exactly are you doing in that event?
It's 8 laps of butterfly.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. So you're just doing all of that together, and you're just cranking it all out for these meets. I mean, fantastic. We were kind of talking a little bit before about how now we're ramping up for your big conference, right, and the conference championships, which are February 15th to the 18th. What kind of mindset do you have to start getting into to start preparing for these championships?
A lot of the mindset I try to put myself in is like I've done all the work this year. The hard part is over. All that matters is I need to get my rest. I'm going to be shaved and tapered at the meet with my tech suit on, and I'm going to go up to the block, and I'm going to be ready to do the best I can.
And I mean, I love to hear. I mean, the biggest thing for student athletes, right, is balance. And we were talking a little bit about your major too, which is what is your major?
Computer engineering.
Computer engineering. And super strenuous track. I mean, you're very restricted with your credits. How do you think you balance, being a great student as long as being a great athlete?
Yeah, it just really comes down to time management skills. Just when you have your free time, you got to put that all towards your academics. I actually find myself, better on track of getting my homework done when I'm in season compared to out of season, because when I'm out of season, it's like, oh, I'll just do my do the homework whenever I can. I have all day long.
Right, you got the pressure building up.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And I find I kind of work a little bit better like that too, because you're not able to push anything off because you're always thinking about the next thing. Kind of going into your all landmark second team, right? Mm-hmm. So this is the 2023 landmark championship, and it was in Germantown, Maryland.
Yes.
Right. I want to hear the whole experience. I want to hear about when you got there, what you ate, what you competed in. Just give me the whole scoop on it.
Yeah, so we got there. We left Thursday morning, and it was around a 4.5-hour bus ride down to Germantown from Scranton. It's a long bus ride, but that Thursday we were able to warm up in the pool and practice a little, and then it was Friday morning. It was straight to 500 free prelims. I pulled out, I don't know what time I went, but I was decently happy with it. It wasn't my best time, but it was what I needed to do for prelims. And then for the finals, I was able to get third, which I was decently happy with. And then the next day, Saturday, I had a unique situation because most people swim an event on each day. My freshman year, I decided, for whatever reason, that I was going to swim the 200 fly and the mile both on the last day. So I was able to sleep in a bit on the Saturday, and I think I had an 800 free relay later that night, which I'm pretty sure we broke the team record for that. And then that Saturday, Sunday morning, I was able to do my 200 fly prelims, and then I was able to rest a bit. And then when I came back for that night, I had to swim the mile, the 1650. And that was actually the first time I've ever swam the 1650, because you're 1,000 times CG for the 1650. I didn't really know what to expect for it, but I ended up doing a pretty good time, and I came second. And then right after that, I had the 200 fly, and I was just like, I was dead at this point. I was like, next year I'm not swimming the 200 fly and mile on the same day, but I just got to put everything I have on the table, and who cares what happens after this.
And I mean, you did great. You swung out fifth too after already locking in second and third. So absolutely fantastic. I mean, I just want to know your thought process after that. I mean, from that experience alone, you must have grown as an athlete, at least physically in your head. Just what were you thinking after?
After, I was like, oh, I just did that. Probably won't be doing that again next year, because this year I'm instead of swimming that 200 fly on the Sunday, I'm going to be doing the 200 free on the Saturday. So more time to space things out.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely more experience leading in to these next championships, which are going to be absolutely crazy. We're definitely building up hype for it because all of you athletes are fantastic, both on the women's and men's side. Fantastic athletes breaking records this year. And kind of filing into that, how important is a fan base standing behind you when you're at these meets?
I would say it's a lot. Definitely a couple times, when I'm swimming my 500 free, I can think of a few times where I'm swimming, or even during my 1,000 too, and I take a breath. I can't really see everything, but if I see a few of my teammates or a lot of my teammates when I do a turn at the wall, it gives you encouragement. It gives you a reason to keep on going and to push yourself, because in that moment it hurts swimming the event, and it's the last thing you want to be doing. You just want to stop at the wall and climb out and just lay there.
Absolutely. And what do you think being, attached to the school, you could summarize it, and what does being a Royal mean to you specifically?
Being a Royal is just striving to be the best athlete, best student that I can, just be the best version of myself. Now,
we kind of already referenced it. You're a little bit more than, you're close to being halfway with your career, right, at this school. And pretty soon you're going to be stepping into those upperclassmen sort of roles. Some could even say maybe a mentor of such, especially with your career. You're already doing fantastic things. if someone were to step onto the swim team right now and want to achieve stuff like you're already achieving, what kind of advice would you give to them?
I would just say you gotta put your head down and work hard. And when you work hard, good things are gonna happen. Listen to listen to your coach. Just work out hard in practice, and good things are gonna happen.
If you were able to talk to like the school, say we had just like a whole like class meeting and everything, and we got a bunch of our students together, what would you say to them to try to get them out to some of these meets? Because I mean, this one is going to be huge. I know I'm going to be there, supporting you guys. So what do you think you would say to them?
They're a really fun time to watch. I mean, I may be a little biased saying this, so they may not want to listen to me, but when you do get those close races, there's nothing quite like it.
Absolutely fantastic. I mean, these ones are going to be insane. I'm very excited for them. Kind of going off of that, is there maybe a story, maybe an experience? It could be a meet. It could have just been a practice. It could be maybe in your college experience, your high school experience. Maybe just a story that really like sticks in your mind that has shaped you as a person, an athlete. Just any story like that you think you can remember?
Personal story of mine?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would probably say it was my District 12 meet in high school, my senior year. I was swimming the 500. It was the first time I was shaved, tapered, had a tech suit on for that 500, and I ended up going a 443, and that punched me a ticket to states. And that was always my dream as a freshman, seeing all my teammates before me going to states, and it was really really cool experience to get to finally be there and swim in that meet. It was nothing like it.
Fantastic. And being a student athlete is such a specific perspective because you have so much to juggle. But even the word athlete, I feel like every time I interview one, they can explain it to me differently about what it means to be just an athlete, period. So what does it mean to you to be an athlete? Kind of a loaded question.
Yes. All right. So being an athlete to me just means, managing your time with your sport and everything else in your life. I mean, right now I'm a student athlete, so a lot of that means managing my academics, but also like socially. Like a lot of times I would like to hang out with my friends, but I have to. I have practice to do, or I have to, especially these past few weeks and then next week going forward. I have to start getting more sleep for my landmarks champs. I
mean, you kind of already touched on it. Outside of the pool, what are you up to? Like hobbies, anything like that?
Yeah. So outside of the pool, I'm a member of the IEEE Institute of Electronics and Electrical Engineers. I'm also a member of the Ham Radio Club.
Okay. Yeah, campus, and that's about Top LSC, right?
Yes. Yes. They just installed the new tower.
Yeah. No, it looks great. So just a little bit more about that. Like, what do you think interests you about that, like specifically? Yeah,
so a lot of them do have to do with my major, but like for IEEE, every Thursday we have a different someone from some engineer come in and tell us about their job, and there are different aspects of the industry that we could go into, and just learning insights and making connections.
Nice. I mean, that's fantastic, especially in your job field, like making those connections. That's really important, and actually getting to see it on display, I feel like that probably makes it all worth it. In the end. Almost wrapping up a little bit here. Where can we, find more information on your meets? Probably the Instagram.
The Instagram and the Scranton Athletics website has everything laid out pretty nicely.
Yeah, you have like full bios and records on there, right?
We do.
Fantastic. Just kind of maybe as a final word for you here on the podcast. Any last words? It could be for the community, for your family, for the team. Just any last thing you would have to say on your mind.
Well, the last thing I would say is probably, you only get 4 years in college. Make the most of it. Don't, constantly be, waiting for tomorrow or for the day end. Just make the best out of what you're given each day, and good things will happen, and you'll be happy with yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. I mean, I had a great time talking to you. Obviously, you're a fantastic athlete, fantastic student in person. And yeah, just thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh, well, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, like we said before, Landmark Conference Championship coming up February 15th to the 18th. Come out and support the men's and women's swimming and diving team. We need your support. We need every Royal there cheering every one of these fantastic athletes on. So as always, this has been the Royal Vision Podcast. I've been your host, Alex Taylor, and we will see you in the next one.